Hi, my name is Von Nguyen. I am from Minnesota and I attended the University of Minnesota with a background in product design, sustainability, and fashion. I've always had a strong interest for footwear, so just been pursuing a career within footwear design for quite some time now. And for this project, I chose to create a New Balance basketball performance design. So I started off by looking at New Balance's current basketball footwear offerings, along with their roster of NBA players, and seeing who would make an interesting fit for a signature shoe, since that's the direction I wanted to take for this project. And I landed on Zach LaVine. Just he's a phenomenal player who's been doing extremely well and is the face of Chicago as a franchise. So I felt that he'd be a great candidate for this design. So I start off by looking at Levine's background, doing some research on him, and really understanding who he is as a person, so I can create a design that tells his story really well. And I found some interesting things. So here's just a quick page that I did. So looking at New Balance's current basketball products and just kind of listing like some potential elements I want to incorporate into my design. I noticed there isn't really a whole lot of low tops or emphasis on a low top shoes, so that'd be an interesting thing to add something new to their current lineup of basketball shoes. And just listing some things about Levine's background as a person, and I found some cool stuff. So I learned that he loves classic cars, the Pontiac Le Mans being one of his favorites in his collection. So I studied the shape of that car and saw the grille was really interesting for him. So I kind of sketched it out real quick. And he's also from Seattle, big Seattle guy, and that's just where his roots are. So I drew the Space Needle and studied the form of it, because the Space Needle being a big part of Seattle as a city and one of the main features that people know of. And then I did a few quick like thumbnail sketches, just exploring different directions and forms and components I could take with this project. And so for this next page, I landed on a form that I liked, and I kind of started filling some details, which eventually led me to this main sketch at the bottom. So this sketch here was the final form that I wanted to take, and I laid out some components and materials that I wanted to incorporate as well. And for my final sketch, it's going to be this render on paper right here. So this design, let's start off with the tooling, kind of emulating the lines, the body lines of the Pontiac Le Mans, with kind of a larger heel and slimmer towards the toe, like the front of the car. And for the heel portions, so this heel counter is inspired by the shape of the Space Needle, and I added these little dots on there because I learned that Zach LaVine loves to play dominoes, and he carries on the road with him. It's one of his travel essentials. So just kind of a nod to his love for the game of dominoes. And then for the overall colorway of the shoe, so him being with Chicago and that being a big point in his career, I wanted to use the Chicago flag as inspiration for the colorway. So just mainly white with blue and red accents. And he also played at UCLA, so the yellow is also a nod to his days at UCLA. One of the main hero components I wanted to add to the shoe was just this cool like midfoot webbing system, where it's like an eyelet that is right at the midfoot that cinches and tightens to give a more secure lock at the midfoot. And then even the eye stay, along with the shape of this like toe overlay, it's inspired by the grille of the Pontiac Le Mans. And then for the outsole of the shoe, just a classic like herringbone traction pattern that's tried and true, with a visible midfoot shank that is also inspired by the shape of the Space Needle. And I thought about materials briefly, so if you can look closely, the upper has a kind of a New Balance Fit Weave light, and I wanted to incorporate sustainable elements in some fashion. So right at the heel counter, I potentially thought could be made of like a bio TPU, and then even the heel panel could be made of an eco leather of some sorts. And just to cap things off, I feel I'd be a good fit for this New Balance and Pensole Masterclass because of my genuine passion for footwear and truly just taking the time to understand people, learning who they are, and really creating products that are centered around people and sharing their interesting stories and background. And I would just be really excited to connect with new individuals at Pensole and try and learn and grow from them and share anything that I know as well, and just reach a point in the industry that I've been striving for a long time, and just my overall love and passion for footwear, sport, and understanding people. Hope you take all this into consideration, and thanks for listening.